Hey everybody, my name is Jenna, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about Anne Zanele Mutama. She is a Zimbabwean artist who uses everyday objects to kind of create these immersive spaces for reflection. And her work really tends to explore memory, identity, and ritual. And what I find super inspiring about it is how she invites the viewer into the experience. It's very personal yet super communal at the same time. So, starting with her work, Systematic Necropolis, Mutama transforms these everyday objects like brooms, cocoons, and red string into symbols of memory and connection. And the brooms tie into her cultural framework. Within Shona culture, it is the brooms are taken inside at night, and they're often used by the traditional healers to honor ancestral memory and promote spiritual cleansing. And these elements also echo concepts like Ubuntu, emphasizing interconnectedness between individuals, their communities, and the past. So, by elevating these rooms into symbols of remembrance, Mutama unites the themes of ritual cleansing and memory preservation. Each cocoon represents a memory, and the red string links them, suggesting lineage, emotional bond, and continuity over time. And the installation really is arranged to create this immersive environment where viewers are surrounded by these objects, and this encourages reflection on personal memories and life experiences while simultaneously being aware of others moving throughout the space, which creates a shared emotional experience. So she really tends to ask the questions of what kind of memories do we carry? What objects encode our identity? And do these objects shape our identities, or do our identities shape the objects around us? So it really explores how personal and collective memories are preserved and interconnected, and how objects and ritual bridge the two together. So moving on to the next project, which is My Yesterday Should Know. So My Yesterday Should Know really uses altering the sensory space, and your perception is shifted to encourage reflection on memory and identity. The exhibition unfolds through two contrasting but connected spaces. The first one being the darkened room on the left, which contains seven single-person cubicles, each offering a sensory encounter involving darkness, water, sound, and touch. And the space is counteracted by a white room, which is filled with pod-like structures that provide alternative sensory engagements, emphasizing light, stillness, and contemplations. So in the left room, the viewers are asked to remove their shoes and wade in shallow water and darkness while listening through headphones. And by restricting the vision, directing sound, and emphasizing touch, um, the strategies really disorient participants. And the same goes for the light room, where they jump from pod to pod, and in each pod, their sensory experience is shifted. Something else is going on, which you could see on this graph: the scent, elevation, touch, sight, warmth. The experience created from this allows the participant to kind of step back in time a little bit and detach from their ordinary perception. And this encounter is what Muthma suggests as a pre-memory, or the buried memory in internal identity. So rather than simply stepping back in time, participants are encouraged to enter a state of embodied awareness in which memory is felt rather than recalled. It's kind of this space where identity is experienced as a fluid, internal, and sensory, rather than as a fixed thing. So identity and memory are fluid, and self-reflection requires stepping out of the ordinary perception, even while being aware of others around you. So just kind of remembering our true selves. So moving on to the final piece, which is self-equinoctial, and this is a much gentler and more contemplative piece. Mutama uses soft materials and delicate forms to invite viewers to kind of slow down and notice subtle shifts. So the installation really creates this shared pause and a collective moment where personal reflection and awareness of others coexist. And the title refers to the equinox, which is the moment of equilibrium between light and dark. and this creates almost a state of suspension rather than resolution. Within this installation, Mutama uses muted forms and carefully planned spatial arrangements to evoke vulnerability, tenderness, and emotion. And this is she kind of dwells in this state of in-betweenness. So the space invites slow movement and careful attention. And the softness does not signify a weakness, rather, it reflects emotional openness and courage required to remain present when you're uncertain. And this kind of mirrors the moments of change in your personal life, where your identity is being restructured through care and pause. And it emphasizes the need for balance and stillness, and emotional vulnerability. So while preparing this presentation, I researched using gallery websites, exhibition texts, and articles, including the ones on the left that you see here. And I really wanted to choose an artist who had interactive work because that is a heavy interest of mine. And her work resonated with me because the piece is not only tied to immersive experiences, but they also focus on human psychology, interconnectedness, which are huge interests of mine. And on this slide, you can actually see an interactive piece I did on the human experience. So this is definitely something I'm really enjoyed looking into. And the research process really helps me not only gather information about Mutama's work, but also kind of reflect on how she conveys ideas through material, space, and ritual. Mutama's installations reflect African philosophies like the Ubuntu and the Shona ancestral memory, and it shows how personal reflection and community connection are intertwined. I didn't find it appropriate to include within my research paper this quote by Maya Angelou, but I felt like this really encapsulated what Mutama was all about, which is the obvious differences between each sort and sort of type of us, but we are very alike in a lot of ways. And that's all I got. Thank you.